What's up guys, Bolt here once again. We're going to be diving into the Armored Brigade in Broken Arrow and give you guys a good overview of this specialization as well before the game is out, but it might also still hold value when the game is out, and if you want to just have a look at all the different types of units. Now, let's get into it. So we're going to start off with the Recon. Armored Brigade obviously isn't going to have the most insane infantry or helicopters or air in general. Well, none of each of these. But it's going to have a shit ton of vehicles. It's going to have a good amount of artillery and stuff, so that's going to be pretty cool. So in the Recon tab, we have the only infantry Recon that we have in this specialization, which is the CAPT Scouts. Pretty cool units, honestly. It's a 3-man team with Javelins, which are top attack. You only have 3 ATGMs in this, though. But yeah, it can be quite dangerous, and they cannot laser designate, though. So definitely, if you want to make use of that, combine it with a specialization that has sniper teams, such as the US Airborne, or Spec Ops, which has the most amazing recon in the game, in my opinion, like Ranger Snipers, Rangers, Pararescue, Green Berets, or, you know, with the Marines, so you have Force Recon and Scout Snipers. But yeah, Cav Scouts, not bad, not terrible either, though. Then we have some tank recon, believe it or not. This is where things get really interesting. We have the M1A2 SEPV2 Tua. Now this thing as a tank, very powerful. 1300 protection against heat, 750 against kinetic, quite good in the range of tank armor. It can laser designate, which is really cool, and the cannon is quite powerful as well. Not the best, you know, only 400 heat, 500 kinetic, but yeah, I mean, it's as good as you would expect it to be. So with the APF SDS, the max kinetic damage you can do is 800 if you're close, and with the heat it's 400. So if you just look at the base here, it's like an average of your usual, well, it's the minimum in this case. So the minimum damage penetration is 500, but if you get closer, it increases. Then we have a Bradley Recon. We have the M3A2 CFV. Now it comes stock at 80 points without a jammer, but if you get a jammer, you actually get countermeasures, 30% electronic countermeasures, so incoming ATGMs, air to ground or ground-based ATGMs, you have a higher chance of it missing. That's basically it. And you can give it more armor, which gives you protection against heat. So if there's any RPGs or whatnot, you have a bit more protection. Now this thing comes stock with the TOW 2A, so you also have some direct attack ATGMs. So that is pretty nice, 400 points. It cannot laser designate though, so keep that in mind. Then we have the M3A3 CFV. Can be upgraded in slightly different ways. You can upgrade its engine to make it faster. You can also give it Iron Fist protection. And the armor you can go all the way to Busk 3, which makes it quite insane. But yeah, 145 points compared to 100. And it cannot laser designate, but the survivability is quite insane. So this guy basically has countermeasures, this guy has Iron Fist. So, although you can intercept 2 incoming projectiles, the 30% is continuous, okay? So keep that in mind as well. Then we have the M7A2 B-Fist. This can laser designate, which is pretty cool. You can upgrade its armor to the max, making it very fast. You can give it Iron Fist and also go to Busk 3, pimping this thing out completely. Giving you Iron Fist, you have smoke, you have laser designation. Quite nice. And in terms of penetration, the Bushmaster is very deadly. So if you're very close to enemy tanks, you will actually tear them apart. But what you will definitely tear apart is helicopters and infantry with this thing. Then we have just a purely recon unit, the M981 Fist TV. Can laser designate, really good optics on this thing. And you can even give it slat armor, which is awesome. So infantry, mech engineers. Now these guys are definitely built against enemy infantry. They come with shotguns. And they come with a small D, which fires a high explosive rocket at infantry vehicles or helicopters. Pretty good HP pool, decent stealth. You know, it's a pretty good unit to have, and you can put these in Bradleys, which we will look at in the vehicles tab here in a second. Your mech rifleman, this is your mainline infantry basically. They come with the AT4, so not the best AT weapon, but it's decent against light and medium armor. You have a light machine gun, underbarrel, grenade launcher, and assault rifles. It's a 6-man team as well. It's decent. It's just a regular infantry unit. You also have the mech rifle AA variant. So these guys have the AT4, these guys have the Stinger, and you have 4 rockets per squad. So that's not that bad, actually. It's not that bad. These were probably one of the first units I ever used in the game. Then we have Mech Rifleman MMG. So these guys do not carry AT4s, they do not carry Stingers, they just carry 2 M240 Limas. So you have a regular Mech Rifleman, you have Mech Rifleman with manpads, and Mech Rifleman with machine guns. Now the vehicle tab is really where this division or specialization shines, which makes sense. So you have a troop transport, the M113A3. You can upgrade its armor, giving it cage armor and smoke, which is, you know, if you really are about that survivability life, it does offer quite a bit more survivability. And the weapon package, you can give a 50 cal Mark 19, but it's a 10-man seat or 10-seat vehicle, so it can carry pretty much anything you have in this division specialization. It also has smoke. So the assault breacher is the coffin launcher. It fires these Mikliks, which absolutely destroy infantry when it does hit. It's insanely armored as well. It's basically an Abrams chassis with coffin launchers. It's supposed to be, I believe these are supposed to be like mine clearers, right? You just fire like a big explosive line down there and then just blow up. Yeah, it's quite nice. Like if infantry is in a building, you just don't want to really fight Spetsnaz, just blow up the building. Then we have another troop transport, the M1283 AMPV. It's a 12-seater. It's quite, you know, well protected. 400 heat protection is insane. But here's where the cool things start. So you can give it a grenade launcher. You can give it a Bushmaster autocannon, okay, which does quite a bit of damage against light and medium vehicles. Or you can also give it a javelin, which does make it quite expensive, 100 points for a transport. But that is quite nuts. The M1A2 Abrams, very, very cool tank to have. Just without upgrading, it's already quite nice to have. You know, 1200 meters protection against heat. But if you really go crazy here with the armor package, you can. But keep in mind, it only improves the side armor, okay? So it depends on your playstyle. If you really are about that long distance interaction with your tanks or engagements with your tanks, maybe it's not worth getting that Tusk 2, because it does cost, 25 points more. But it does increase your survivability. If there is something shooting you on the side, you have a pretty good chance of surviving that shot. And besides that, the cannon is, just a basic 120. Decent kinetic penetration there. And decent heat damage. So it's not bad. It's not bad. But it's only 240 points, which is quite cheap. Then we have the SEP, M1A2 SEP. And if we just compare the two in terms of armor, it's a bit more armored on the front. And let's just go for the default. There you go. On the side, it's literally the same. Rear is the same. Top is the same. So it has 100 millimeters more front armor. I'm going to just call it 100 millimeters. Or 100 more protection against kinetic. Everything else is pretty much the same, except more range on the gun and slightly more powerful kinetic damage. That is about it. So, but if you do upgrade it fully, the only difference basically is the front armor is 100 more and the cannon is slightly better. But yeah, that's 30 points. So is it really worth 30 points for you? Well, that's for you to decide, okay? Then we have the SEP V2. The SEP V2. This thing is quite nuts. You can give it only armor upgrades. You can either give it only trophy, so anti-projectile defense, or you can give it both, and you actually have 4 active protection. Okay, that is quite nuts. And the penetration of the gun, or the cannon, has also increased in this case. So 500 to 800 kinetic and 400 heat. So that is still the same, but the kinetic has gone up. Now, the SEP V3, it only gets better and better. 850 front protection now, by the way. And now we have some different types of ammunition as well. So the APF SDS is still the same, more pen though. Okay. Heat is still the same, but now we have high explosives, which is great against infantry. Still 4 active protection. And yeah, this is basically your most expensive tank you can build in this specialization. Then we have the Bradleys. Now this is a troop transport. It can carry up to 6 men, which is basically most of your infantry. Well, in this case, yeah, all of these guys. So quite nice to have these Bradleys. This is the one that you cannot change at all. So it has no active protection, it has no extra armor. But if you go for the ESV, you get a couple of improvements. So you can give a jammer, and you can give it reactive armor. You can get the M2A3, which you can upgrade as armor or as engine. You can actually give it active protection, which is a must in my opinion. And you can give it better armor. And then last but not least, you have the M2A3 Bradley ESV, which you can upgrade in the same way as well. But it just looks different. Okay. And the main difference here in this case, actually, instead of a TOW 2, you have the Blam, which fires at infantry. This is a TOW 2 TOW BB. It's a high explosive one, whereas this is a regular TOW 2B. So this is actually a top attack one. So keep that in mind as well. This is a very powerful unit. You don't want to just keep it as a transport and then sell it. You might want to use it. And last but not least, we have the M901A3. This is just an ATGM vehicle, a very cheap ATGM vehicle you can just sprinkle around on the battlefield. It has a TOW 2A and a TOW BB. Just decent to have. I mean, only for 65 points. 50 if you don't upgrade the armor. It's very good, very cheap. Now the support tab, we have quite a lot to play with actually. We have the M1064A3. Now this is a mortar piece, 80, nope, I was gonna say 82 mil, but it's 120 millimeter. And you can make it mostly HE, so 45 high explosive rounds and 25 smoke, or swap it the other way around. This is probably what I would go for. The Paladin, this is a really cool artillery piece. You can actually have guided rounds, the Excalibur rounds. These can be guided to their target with laser designation. And instead of that, instead of the Excalibur, you can go for the Copperheads, and you can get cluster artillery. Very nice to have. Then we have the M109A7 Paladin, which basically comes with the Iron Thunder, which greatly increases your range. It does limit the ammunition types you have. Now you only have the laser designated high explosive one. You don't have any smoke with this. Whereas with the Paladin gun, you do. Okay, so keep that in mind. But yeah, you probably do want that range though. So whereas, for example, this one is 3,800 meters range, this goes up to 5,000. We have another mortar. We have the M1287 MCV. It's a 120 millimeter once again. You can make it mostly HE, mostly smoke, or also give it guided rounds. Guided mortars. Isn't that cool? I just love that that's actually even a technology. PVADs, man, I love using these things as missile defense. PVADs are wonderful. These are radar, they can intercept everything. These can intercept missiles, helicopters, planes, infantry, vehicles. For some reason it's classified a cluster. It's awesome. The range isn't the best, but it will actually stop a fair amount of cruise missiles. Then we have an MLRS. Now artillery has definitely been buffed in the latest patch, I would say. Not in terms of like individual values here of this unit, but just the amount of artillery in the game in general. So it is a must that you counteract that. So with the M70A1 MLRS, you can either get high explosive rockets, you can get cluster, which in my opinion is the better one, or you can get the big ass ballistic missile, which can be easily shot out of the sky because they take a really wide, angle. They almost go into orbit and then come down again. And then we have the GMLRS. Now this thing is slightly different. So it can once again fire high explosives, it can fire cluster, or it can fire the PRSM. So instead of just one ATACMS, so you can get 4 ballistic missiles out of this thing. Which actually, they do a lot of damage on their own. And this is what I like using myself. Because, one, you have 4 missiles instead of 1. So one of them might get through and kill the target. And it's just cool to see a lot of missiles in the sky. What can I say? Then we have a transport or a supply truck, 5,000 carry capacity. Not bad. It's not bad, honestly. Then we have the M6 linebacker. This is a legendary unit to use. I would definitely recommend this. You can make this thing insane. You can give it the Shorad loadout. M Shorad, it gives you Hellfires, it gives you the 30mm, or you can make it a Shorad Stinger version. But keep in mind that the Hellfire can also fire at helicopters. Yeah, that's right. Now the cool thing is, the 30mm can intercept missiles. Isn't that cool? That can be very useful. Now, for a specialization that is mainly armor, it has a lot of good support units. We have the Patriot Pack 2. Now, this thing can be upgraded to have 4 missiles. It does not change anything about missiles per target. So some units, they can have multiple missiles being fired at the same target, while also being able to multi-target. This one cannot. So it can multi-target, but it won't fire multiple missiles at the same target at the same time. But it's still a very good unit to have. So I would definitely upgrade this thing and have PVADs around them to protect against seed or cruise missiles. That is it for this specialization. There is no helicopters, there's no air, so you're gonna have to combine it with something that has whatever you would want to play with. If you really, really love your air, maybe go airborne, or, you know, I mean, Marine has some decent planes as well. So it really depends on your playstyle, and you just kind of go from there. But as I said, I will have some example, like, division combinations coming up very soon. So keep an eye out on that, and I will see you guys back in the next one. Take care.